Everybody, this is Sheets, and I have been threatening to do a hockey video since the season started, but unfortunately, with the NBA just kind of dominating my time that I allocate to doing DFS stuff, just never really had the opportunity to do it. But I think today might be a good time for no other reason that the NBA is a small three-game slate, and the NHL is putting together a 12-game slate tonight with big contests, and I shouldn't say the NHL is putting together the big slate. DraftKings has taken advantage of a big NHL slate and putting together a really good array of contests. So what I want to do is I want to go through for tonight's slate kind of the way I approach the hand-built portion of it. Now, with respect to the use of an optimizer, whether it be SaberSim or DraftKings or FanDuel, I already have kind of like evergreen videos up there to show you how to do that. So essentially all you would do is, if you wanted to, you would download this data into your favorite optimizer and run it according to the settings that you set for it. And that's just a different conversation. And I am going to be probably playing 20 lineups doing exactly that. I'll probably use SaberSim for this particular slate. I just think it'll do a better job on a slate like this to get me a good combination of correlation and low ownership. But for the hand-built stuff, again, I want to go through my sheets and my projections and then attempt to build a lineup with you guys on tonight's slate. And this is the first time I'm looking at it, which I think makes it kind of fun to do. So again, just to remind everybody, name, team, position, salary, fantasy points, points per dollar, sheets value score, which is my best attempt to combine both raw points and point per dollar. Projected ownership and their opponent, which is new that I put in here for other reasons. So the first thing that, well, I just want to tell you where we're going to be going. We're going back and forth between this this page and this is going to be the lineup builder page. So you see like all these games, and they range from all different times. So there's no like benefit of waiting or anything like that. What I'd like to do is attempt to identify kind of a cheap goalie that's viable that we could start with. So let's just take a look at that really quickly. So actually the second best goalie on the slate, as far as I'm concerned, is Sorokin, and he's 7,500. So let's start by putting him in. And if we feel like we could spend more, let's do it. But I do feel as though starting with the cheapest viable goalie is a good place to start. And you'll see, well, we might change that in a second because you'll see that there's a Florida guy that we really like, but we'll get back to that in a second. Okay. So as I was saying, first thing to notice is at the top, and I like to look at these by sheets value score, there's no real incredible standout. Like when it comes to hockey, one guy being 29 and the next guy being 27, it's not particularly significant. I mean, usually if you have a real standout, it'll be like 33 to 27 or something like that. So while Ovechkin looks like the strongest play, it's not as though someone you just have to jam in. What's interesting is this first play here, Patrick Hornquist. I mean, he, at this price, to have this sheet's value score, I mean, this is extremely strong. He is, if you can get him in a stack, that's great. But at the very least, you could get him in a one-off. So the first thing I'm going to do is actually put him in and take Sorokin out because they're against each other. So now let's go down to the next viable one. That would be Frederick Anderson at 7,800. So we're going to replace those two spots. So take Sorokin out, put in who did I say? Carolina guy. I'll find him now. Frederick Anderson. And we will put in Hornquist. So again, what would be nice, it would be if there was a way to include Hornquist in a stack. But when I look through, I don't really see any Florida guys in the top, even in the top 35 as far as plays. So I'm not going to force him in with other people. I mean, he's only 2,800. I mean, he looks to be probably just a tremendous one-off. So we're going to leave that in for now. Now let's go back to Ovechkin. Let's see if there's any Washingtons that even appear here in the list, and not really. So if you can get Ovechkin in as a one-off, that's great. But you're not going to probably want to stack him. For now, I'm going to put him in the lineup just because he's the top play. And let's get to this page for a second. We'll put him in as the top play, and we'll probably end up taking him out. But let's just see where this takes us. So now what we're going to do is we're going to eyeball this and see if there's like a glut of players within a certain range or within a certain area near the top. So like the first thing I'll notice is Brian Rust is one Pittsburgh guy, and Gwensel is another Pittsburgh guy. Wow, and Crosby is the other. So you have 3 Pittsburgh guys all within the top 20 plays, and on a slate like this that's so big, that's really, really powerful. Now again, we're not taking into consideration of ownership yet, and I presume these guys are going to be somewhat owned. Yeah, I mean 10%, 18%, whatever, but I'm not really considering that right now. So if you could get in Gwensel and Crosby and who's the other guy I mentioned? Rust. Where is he? Rust. That's a really, really good start. But before we do that, let's see if we're missing anybody. So Austin Matthews, I don't see any other Torontos in here, although he could end up being the one-off, 17% ownership. McDavid, we see any other Edmontons? Yeah, you see Nugent Hopkins, but that's pretty much it. And you see the Rangers a little bit. So yeah, so you have Zibanejad and Panarin and Strome. Now those guys are all on the same line. That would be incredible. So let's take a look at that. And then we're going to probably pick one of those between Pittsburgh and the Rangers to be the key place to start. Let's just see where these guys are on the line. So the Rangers, yeah, so you do have Zibanejad is on that main line. Zibanejad and Panarin. Let's just see about the other guys. Let's see. Let's pull up the teams. Let's pull up the Rangers. All. Zibanejad, Panarin. Strome is on the power play line, so that's really, really strong. So we're going to have the choice between the Rangers and the Penguins for which of those key stacks to put in. Maybe we could do both. So let's start. Let's put the Rangers in first. And put in Strome. What else do we say? Strome, Zibanejad, and Panarin. Let's put those guys in first. Are those cheaper even than the Pittsburghs? Let's find out. Panarin 6,900. Let's see which of those looks better. So Rangers first. Okay. Let's take it. Ovechkin now. I don't think we're gonna be able to get it, but we'll get there in a minute. So we have Panarin, Zibanejad, and Strome. This is power play correlation. Now we could leave it at 3, or we could try to go for 4. I'd like to attempt to go for 4, but let's see what that does to us. I mean, if we take out Ovechkin, we can certainly do this. But who's the next guy that we're looking for in the Rangers to make work in the power play? Kreider or Fox? So let's see if those guys, at least where they show up on my list, between Crowder and Fox. There's Strome. See Kreider or Fox. They show up at all. You have to scroll down. This is not that great. Let's just see. Kreider. He's 85th. And Fox. And not that great. So it's as a 3-man, it would work, but probably not as a 4-man. So let's leave it as a 3-man for now. And then let's see what the Pittsburgh looks like next. And Pittsburgh again was Rusk, Crosby, and Wenzel. I'd like to do just for fun, just in case you can get them all in. Let's do Crosby. He's only 6,600. He's cheaper than Zibanejad. Interesting. Shows what I know. And Gensel is cheaper than Panarin. All right, so let's go back. Let's start with the Pittsburghs then. All right, so as I was saying, we go Crosby here. We go Gensel here. And we'll go Rusk over here. All right, so now we still have Ovechkin in, which is interesting. So can you add could you add a fourth Pittsburgh guy and be within your rights here? Let's see who we would like from Pittsburgh if we can get him. I'm going to do this. Let's pull Pittsburgh. All right. So with Pittsburgh, you'd have Gensel. So we're looking for Letang. He would be the defenseman to throw in. So let's just make sure he doesn't project terribly. Although in this case, it might not matter. I would like to get 4. Let's look at Letang. So he's doesn't look great. But let's see how he rates the other defensemen. How about that? So other defensemen. Let's see where he rates. And not bad. I mean, he's not bad. So if we can get him, great, but we don't have to. How about that? So let's put him in. Let's put in Letang. 7K. Makes it a little harder. So now we might not be able to get Ovechkin, which might not be so bad. So, like for example, I still wonder if we can't play both these Rangers and these Pittsburghs. So if we keep the Hornquist one off, keep this goalie. Let's put Rust in the wing position where he belongs. And then let's go back and see. We can't quite get those Rangers in, can we? But let's just see how close we can get. We could have gotten one of them. I remember one of them was kind of cheaper, right? Who was the other Ranger that we had? I mean, this is what you do when you hand build. This is what you just keep doing. Just going back and forth, especially when you don't know really who all the players are. It was Zibanejad. Who was the cheap one? There's a cheap guy. Strome and Panarin. So let's see if we can get Strome in. Oh, I have the Islanders picked. Sorry about that. Rangers. Let's put in Strome. That leaves us 9,800. Sorry, so I think we can do this, right? So if we put in Strome, I mean, you can't get everybody, but you could play like Zibanejad there if you want, and then just punt at defenseman. Or if you don't have it in you, you could play Panarin there and almost punt defenseman. I'm sure there's a defenseman you can punt with. And you can definitely make this work. And so what I would go back to do is go back here, and once again I would sort by sheets value score, sort by defense, and then you can see that there are some cheapos in there. So yeah, and that's the way you can make a big slate small by using my sheets. I'm going to play tonight. That's not exactly what I'm going to play, because there's going to be a lot of line changes and a lot of subs and all stuff, and different projections. Probably this is pretty early in the day, but I think that's at least a good start. I think that Pittsburgh looks good. I think that Rangers look good. I'm sure that they're both going to be popular, but it's a zillion game slate. I don't know how popular they can be, especially for the single entry. All right, that'll do it. Good luck tonight, whoever plays.